My promise to you today is very simple. If you can follow this one equation, you will completely change your life because you will be able to build what is the most powerful long-term asset in today's digital age, a personal brand. Whether you are a parent, a teacher, a business owner, a coach, a trainer, a photographer, videographer, all of you already have personal brands because it is simply how the world perceives you. It's your public reputation. However, for generations before, we had to rely on managers or bosses or clients to advocate for us, but today we have the power of posting one piece of content that can share across millions of people exactly who we are, what we stand for, and what we have to offer. If you can do this effectively, you will never have to chase another opportunity again. You will attract them. In today's hour-long video, we will be breaking down that exact equation, and if you can't stick around for this entirety, then I'm sorry, I cannot help you. You are somebody that feels as though it's your responsibility to change your family's legacy. It's your responsibility to change the outcome of where your family will be in the future. That is how I felt. And personal branding has been the route, the medium in which that has helped me to achieve. But I want to be extremely clear. I started exactly where all of you are currently at. I too followed my favorite creators. I too followed a creator named Christian Guzman, and he was one that I looked up to all the time. And I would watch his videos, I would learn about his content strategy, and there was something deep inside of me that I could only call a sense of imposter syndrome. Can you relate to that? Or insecurity? And I had this huge fear of being seen. And I thought for some odd reason internally that someone that came from the background that I came back and tried to improve through could not make it. Someone that didn't have the resources like myself couldn't make it. I didn't have the confidence. I wasn't an extrovert. I had all these doubts about why I couldn't make it. And so when I did first start posting content, for those that are very new, so the number zero people, when we were talking about how if you're just starting out, you probably don't know this, but if you post content on your page and you remove it from your main feed, it doesn't count it as a post, right? So if you keep it as a Reels tab piece of content, it doesn't count. But in the beginning, I was still posting every single day. And so when I was doing this, I was a full-time bachelor's and master's biomedical engineering student, meaning that I couldn't have been in much more of a polar opposite field, okay? Are there any engineers or scientists in here? Because we are a completely different breed, okay? We're nerds. We are in laboratory settings for 12, 13 hours per day. And I was trying to maximize these small pockets of time. And although I was able to grow to a somewhat decent size at about 4,000 followers, this is the type of content that I was curating. And I'm actually low-key embarrassed to show you this a bit, but I keep it live on my page because I want to show you that I have started exactly where you currently are. Let's watch together. I'm a pretty boy, I'm stunning. Super speed Sonic, I'm running. Super speed Sonic, I'm running. If you know my content now, you would think, June, you created fashion content. And yes, in fact, I did. And I created fitness content. And really, in the beginning, I was just chasing trends, right? I just wanted to garner the viewership. But in reality, all of these views are very skewed, okay? Because when you do become bigger, your views trickle down to your original content. I was in that 200 view count very consistently for my first 50 posts, right? That is where I first began in this fashion realm, and as I was chasing these particular trends. But at a certain point, and you can let me know this in the chat if this resonates with you, I personally wanted to make meaningful content. Who in here wants to serve people? Who in here wants to leave an impact? Who in here wants to make purposeful content? Who in here are sick and tired of the dances, the trends? You actually want to go about making content that leaves a difference. That was me at this particular stage. Again, the number of posts don't reflect because you're on the main feed, but I was posting every single day for about a year and a half. I was reaching my 10,000 followers, and that's when I decided to make a change, right? I thought I wanted to do this the right way. And therefore, I built a content system. Again, I was still posting every single day. This was probably about 2.5 years in. You can see all of the numbers. They're all live and public. And it made showing up easy, right? So I was still able to show up every single day as I was maximizing these small pockets of time as a biomedical engineer. And ultimately, that same system that I'm going to be teaching you had gotten me hundreds of thousands of new followers. ultimately millions of new followers. So in this regard, right, after building my content, it's one thing to just have a number of followers, but it's another to be able to build a business that is aligned to you. And so I started monetizing. I first came out with the Guide to Academic Success. Then I came out with a physical book called The Learning System, which landed #1 in Amazon's new releases, which skyrocketed the business to over $1 million while I was still a student, right? So I remember being in my classroom when I saw the notification above 1 million. I started my own flagship mentorship program. So I had my biomedical engineering bachelor's and master's, and then underneath that was my concentration in neuroengineering. So this mentorship program was about human performance centered around my neuroengineering protocols. I became a judge for a global entrepreneurship competition hosted by Red Bull. You can imagine Shark Tank on steroids. It's where 40 different countries compete on a national level, and then you go to the finalists in Tokyo, Japan, where I was next to AMD, Microsoft, an Olympian, a venture capitalist firm, and I was by far the youngest judge, doing exactly what I am doing for you guys today, teaching about personal brand. Again, who in here wants to make good content and actually monetize in the chat? Good, because that's what I've done, right? So I have now today 8 million followers across my platforms. I've been able to build fun $1 million creator businesses. I've sold over $4 million. I've been invited to events and travel around the world. I'm the co-founder of Creator College. That's what my shirt says, and that is who's actually sponsoring today's event. So all of you that are in here for free and getting access to all this information and all the great expertise, it's because of Creator College. The biggest win, though, I've been able to post every single day for the last 5 years. I went from being a bad student to a good student to an engineer to ultimately entrepreneur. I have a question for those creators that have actually some experience creating. If you're that person, how many of you have fallen in the dark hole of pigeonholing yourself into one topic because someone out there told you to traditionally niche down? And now those content pieces may perform, but when you post about other things, no one actually engages, right? Yes, definitely me. That's because a lot of the people out there don't actually have the experience themselves creating for long enough or at a high enough level to know that that's the wrong way of approaching it. Because that is common knowledge, right? That's common what's taught in the industry. I completely disagree. I think having a personal brand that has longevity is way more important. Is that means it needs to match your evolution. It needs to be able to consist of multiple different interests. And I'm going to be sharing you how to do that. And what I really hope to prove to you is that the person right in front of you has done it time and time and time and time again. Myself, I have 10 million views this on screen. I think there's 11 screenshots of it. I do it all the time, right? I have consistently millions and millions and millions and millions of views. Even on this screen, you're seeing almost very similar pieces of content being reposted with the exact news change of messaging and formatting that I'm going to be teaching you guys today. Cool? Everyone excited? Because I help creatives and entrepreneurs just like yourselves tell your personal stories through content formats and messaging angles. Formats is referring to how your content is packaged, and messaging is simply what you're saying in your content. Cool. And this is how I help creators like this today, right? And this is why I host events like this. I am incredibly impassioned to speak on this and to provide you guys as much as value as I can, okay? And I constantly tell my story. I don't undermine or underpin anything, right? I tell and I show the real raw truth of how it's been to build my businesses, to build my content journey. And in the last 7 months, I've personally helped over 2,000 creators tell their stories with the right messaging and winning formats. These are millions of views: 1.5 million, 6.4 million, 2.5 million, 1.4, 1.4 million, 2.6 million, 2.5 million. If you are somebody that has interest in getting millions of views, let me know in the chat. Good. All right. So if you're new here and you're still struggling with any of these immediate concerns, as in you have too many ideas, you don't want to niche down, you think it's too saturated that you can't win, you don't know how to get views on your content, it's not worth it, I don't like selling to my audience, please stick around for the next 3 days because I will help you fix that mindset and give you the strategy in which you can immediately implement. Sound good? Everyone sound good with that? All right, let's do it. So part one, how to build the right audience. Let's shift the mindset first. Do you need millions of followers to be really successful on social media? A huge emphatic no. You're already doing a good job in participating. Well done. An emphatic no. Because you could have millions of wrong followers. There are creators that have millions and millions of followers, but seemingly when they do a meet and greet, nobody shows up. Or when they launch their own products that nobody buys. These are the wrong followers. What you need to do is build the right audience so you're building a community. But how do you do that? By understanding what content targets your audience and by delivering it with the right format and messaging. So that's why the first thing that we're going to do in Content Insiders is teach you the two most important topics, messaging and formats, in today's day one event. To be very, very clear with this, a message is simply what you're saying in that content. A format is how you are presenting it. And if you can combine those two, you have the content that attracts the right audience. Great? Okay. Awesome. All on the same page here. You've just completed the part one. You've understood the mindset shift. Now I'm going to go into a lot of practicalities. This is where if you're going to have your notes and your pen and papers out, this is the time in which you're going to be writing a lot. All right, great. Number two, what to post. Everyone should draw this out for themselves. It is your creator vision. Again, you're going to have the recording for this, so it's okay. Your creator vision. And in this creator vision, you have three parts: your what, who, and uniqueness. And I don't know how to emphasize this more. But when I get invited to speak at events, this is what they want me to talk about. When a lot of your favorite creators are DMing me and I'm helping them and they book a call with me, they pay for it, this is what they're asking me help for. When I'm telling you that all those creators that I've worked with and they've gotten to their first million views, this is what they point to. Do you understand me? The creator vision is incredibly important that we begin here and we understand this before we move forward. Great. Now, the first part of this is your what, okay? The creator vision what premise. The what part of the creator vision is simply your ethos. It's your message that you want to present to the world. I can guarantee that every single one of you has something to offer. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. No matter how small you think of yourself, I bet in one little conversation, I can help you figure it out, right? I'm going to even give you prompts to help you figure it out. But the truth is, if you can't do it for yourself, find a friend or a family member to ask. And then I promise you, they'll be able to tell you, maybe you have a great positivity about you, a great encouragement about you. Maybe you're skilled in business. Maybe you're a good student. You have something intangibly that your message may be presented through content. So you have this overarching ethos, but then you have three content pillars. These can be anything of interest, right? And then you'll have content ideas that fit underneath each bucket. These are going to be differentiated from each other, as in these content ideas will look different from this content idea, but it all works because you have this overarching ethos or philosophy to connect. Let me give you an example of mine. Hopefully my message has been clear since I started today's deck. But I truly believe, everyone in here, a personal brand is the most valuable long-term asset that any single one of you can build. I believe it, because you no longer will ever have to chase another opportunity again. But my content pillars are different from each other, right? So I teach about content, strategy, storytelling, execution. So that could be scripting, filming, and editing. I talk about all of those. I also talk about monetization, though: digital products, brand deals, ecosystem, and funnels, mindset, discipline, confidence, and growth. A lot of creators will look at this and think, how do you create content about discipline and at the same time help people with their content strategy? How do you do that while also teaching about funnels? It all feels very different. Well, it's because you have this overarching ethos. And for me, it's a personal brand is the most valuable long-term asset that you can build. Let's look at another example here. Leanne Adib, one of the most popular creators on social media today, and an incredible one. Her ethos reads, empowering women to move with faith and confidence. So she has three separate content pillars here: health, fitness, running, holistic wellness, meal prepping; faith, prayer, modesty; mindset, journaling, healthy habits, and discipline. Most creators would define themselves into one particular niche. They'll say, I'm a fitness creator. But Leanna isn't a fitness creator. She's significantly more than that. She is her brand. So that's why she can talk about prayer and journaling and discipline all on the same exact page and win. Does that make sense in regards to the what portion? This should be the most straightforward portion of this creator vision. Great. Awesome. You guys are doing a great job. Take a screenshot right now, okay? I just gave you the 3 questions that I ask every single one of my clients, and this should help you immediately deliver upon the message or the ethos for yourselves. Number 1, what do you want your audience to learn, feel, or achieve by following you? What personal experiences shaped your beliefs about life? And or what do your friends or family say about you? Number 2, your audience. So your creator vision needs a who. The one, how do I put this in a nice way? The one statement that I really despise is when somebody says something along the lines of, I'm in the 200 view jail. I despise that. One, because it shows that you have no idea what content creation is about. If you were in a room in front of 200 people, you would be terrified. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. If you were in front of 200 people, you would want to put your best messages out. I promise it. But so many of you get lost in numbers and forget that there are real human beings on the opposite side of the screen. If you have 150 people that are watching, you better serve those 150 people to the best that you can possibly serve them. But that means that you need to understand who's on the opposite side of the screen. Do you understand me? Good. So your target avatar consists of 2 separate parts. 1, the demographic, and 2, the psychographic. The demographic is a bit more obvious, especially if you've been creating content for some time, because your analytics or your metric will disclose that. What age range are you targeting? Where are they located? What's their profession? What's the gender breakdown? But this is significantly more important. So I'm going to take a bit more time on this. Your psychographic. What does your audience currently struggle with, and what do they desire? Let me give you a perfect example of this. Let's look at the difference between 2 types of content, and I'm going to do this in real time with you. Hey guys, this is why it's so important to be disciplined. Versus, if you're between the ages of 17 and 24, and you're a student struggling in your classes, this is how you become disciplined with this one method. Here's another example. Content creation is really cool, guys. Like, you should try it out. Versus, if you want to never chase another opportunity again and to attract them, to have such a powerful personal brand and public reputation, this is the method that you need for your content. Do you understand the difference, right? Immediately it's different, right? I didn't even try to optimize that for a hook. I just am trying to showcase to you the difference in who you're actually targeting. Does that make sense? So out of 1 and 2, which one was better, right? 1 and 2, which one was better? The second one, correct? Yes. It's so important that you understand what your audience is struggling with and what do they desire. If you have no idea who to target it, just use my own younger you principle. It's the greatest principle that helps everyone get out of this rut. Just target the version of you 2 to 3 years younger, because you had a transformation in that 2 to 3 year time. You know exactly what they were struggling with, and you know exactly what they desired. Teach them, help them, service them. Cool? This is my example. So my demographic, US and Asia, 18 to 34, 1-to-1 male to female. My psychographic, a lot of creators have low confidence. They lack clarity and focus in their strategy. They have low earnings. It should be very straightforward here as well. Everyone get that? Because this is the third branch that I'm going to spend the most time in, because it's the most important by a long mile. Okay? All right. Your uniqueness is consist of 3 parts: your pain, your experience, and your skill sets. Pain is what you've struggled with. Experience is what you've actually gone through or what you've developed. Skills are, what are you good at? What do people come to you for, right? Take a screenshot, right? Again, I'm telling you, every single thing that I'll teach is not just conceptual or theory. It'll be all practice. I'm going to give you prompts to help you along the way. Do you enjoy that? Do you like it when I give you these prompts that allows you to immediately implement everything that I'm sharing? And you're going to be able to fill this out for yourself right away. That's the practice today. So your pain, defining challenges, lowest points, core insecurities, experience, qualifications, key milestones, who you've helped, skill, what can you teach, mastered methods, go-to expertise. But this is the one area that I want to really focus on, okay? Everyone should listen up right here. If you are, for some reason, grabbing a glass of water, or if you're in the bathroom, this is like the time in which you should listen to me very, very closely, okay? I want to talk about why it's so important for you to actually connect to your audience. Your most powerful content will always be derived from your pain. Why? Because people connect through your humanity, not your highlights. So if you're somebody that's constantly flexing on your audience and you wonder why nobody cares, is because literally nobody cares. If you can change that perspective and think the one universal connection that we all have is that we struggle in our lives. And I'm going to prove it in the next slide. If you can use that and stop trying to teach at your audience, stop trying to only be an expert, stop trying to be somebody that you're not, just actually help and relate and connect, immediately change the grand landscape of your content creation journey. This allows you to turn the moments in which you might hate the most about yourself, right? So for me, having divorced parents, a broken household, not being able to have these resources, struggling financially, all of those things were the things I hated about myself the most, and those became the most powerful contents for myself. It gives it a purpose. Now I get to service people all across the world in that and tell people that you're not alone. You can help others exactly how you are right now. You do not have to pretend to be somebody. You are already somebody today. As I read one of these pains out loud, as I go through this list, what I want you to do in the chat is actually tell me if you relate to any one of these, okay? Have you ever had a breakup, whether it be romantic or whether it be friendship? Have you ever had financial hardship? Have you ever moved alone to a different state or to a different country completely alone? Have you ever battled self-doubt? Have you ever burnt out? Have you ever felt unseen in your family? Have you ever been teased for something? Have you ever had to start over? Have you ever felt lost and compared yourself to other people? Everyone, take a look at the chat right now. Do you see how many people are saying yes? I'm showing this to you in real time. This is what universally people connect to. Don't forget that that is how you will actually win and craft a unique positioning angle in which you can deliver upon a larger audience, at the same time, a deeper connection. I do want to be very clear. What we're not doing when we're telling our story is talking negatively about other people. It's not to say that my ex was horrible. It's not to say my parents sucked, but it's to highlight your own growth. Okay, that's all we care about. It's your own emotional maturation from before and after. Do share only what you're comfortable with and choose parts that align with your message. Am I clear there? This is so incredibly important. I see people are saying this is gold. This is, yes, incredibly important. Great. Okay. And I do this every single time, right? I tell my story over and over and over again. And trust me when I say, I didn't start off by telling about my family at all. My transparency for the first 3 years as I grew to 300,000 followers was telling my audience that I was a bad student. Do you hear what I'm saying here? You do not have to share everything. You don't have to share enough depth to it. No, as long as you talk about something that has been a struggle for you, you can turn that to empower others. Am I clear in saying that? So then this is the uniqueness, right? My pain, my experience, and skill sets as I've listed out. And then it comes all together, right? So you can take a screenshot of this as well if you want to use mine as an example. I can move out of the way. And it's not necessarily all that important how I filled it out, and you'll see why. Because what I've done is I spent the last literally 2 weeks studying who is going to be in this call. So the 3.5, 4,000 of you that are in here right now, I've done my very best to understand what your occupations are, right? What is your full-time responsibility? So if you're a trainer, I just made you a vision. I just did it for you. Take a screenshot of this and use it and start working on it immediately. Great. I'm going to move on. Just take a screenshot if you're a trainer. If you're a stylist, let's say that you're in industries like fashion and beauty, take a screenshot. I've done it for you. Cool? I literally have done the hard work for you. Great. If you're a coach of any kind, literally any kind, take a screenshot of this. I've done it for you. Okay? I'm giving you these examples as templates in which you can build upon. All right? Even if you don't fit one of those 3 demographics, I guarantee you can take this, rearrange it, and find your own. Does that sound great? Does that sound helpful to you all in terms of the creator vision? Great. And are you enjoying this so far? Yes, you will get the recordings. Do not worry about that. I promise you. And you're doing such a great job in this call. No one is spamming. Everyone's doing a really good job being respectful for one another. So fantastic, fantastic work. You're enjoying this is best. Thank you. Thank you. Great job so far. Great. This is amazing. All right. Awesome. Now, this is my favorite part to speak on. It's my favorite thing to teach in the entire world. It's learning content formats. It's how you package your contents. Why should you study content? Just like you are an engineer, you have to study your discipline. Just like you're an artist, you have to study your discipline. Just like you have to study as an aerospace scientist, your discipline, content creation is no different. You have to study the formats. So I want to be extremely clear here. You do not have to reinvent the wheel when it comes to formats. The messaging, everything in terms of what to post, I just shared with it to you in the creator vision. That's inherently yours, all uniquely yours. The formats, do not reinvent the wheel. It's already out there. You just study the formats and you combine that with your own messaging, and then therefore you become a creator that has high success. Does that make sense? Cool. So not studying content and understanding the formulas in them is literally like cooking without recipes. It's literally like building without blueprints. It's literally traveling without a map. Literally, right? You're wasting your time. You're failing time and time and time again. So your job isn't to guess, it's to analyze, understand, and replicate the proven frameworks within these successful contents. But I want to be extremely clear. We're studying format, not substance. You could learn from a knitting creator, right? Even if you're in business, you could, because we're learning formats here. And even the most successful knitters, like the people that knit, have a format to their content that you can study. That is transcended across industries. Cool? So now when we're looking at the different features, you don't have to write all of these down because you'll have the recordings for it. But we're looking at hook, visuals and editing, cadence, audio, story arc, and CTA. These are the features of the formats that you need to study. But I've taught this lesson hundreds of times to big creators, to small creators, and I've learned that there's only one way that I can successfully teach this to the point that it drives it home for all of you. And it's by showing an example. Who here wants to go through an example and we can make this fun and interactive together on this next slide? Great. Great job. I am going to play this piece of content and I am going to try and move down like this. And what I want you to do after the video is done, tell me in the chat why you think this video got 24.2 million views. Jeez Louise, this is like mirrored. 24.2 million views. Yeah, okay. So let's play the video now.
This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. Feel the earth move and then hear my heart burst again. For this is the end. I've drowned and dreamt this moment. So overdue, I owe them. Swept away, I'm stolen. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall, I'll face it all. Together, let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Now everyone can tell me why they think that video performed well. And you can read everyone else's message in real time. I'm seeing relatable, I'm seeing vulnerable, I'm seeing emotional, authentic, relatable, attitude, emotional, motivational, inspirational, resilience. Okay. So let me ask you then, because there's a lot of answers happening. If you believe that the reason why this content worked was because it was relatable or vulnerable or emotional, please say the word yes in the chat right now. Well, all of you that have said yes are wrong. And I'll explain why. If I told you, hey, Beatrice, go and make a relatable piece of content. That's how you win on social media. I would be the worst coach in the entire world. In fact, that's what most people tell you to do online. It's because they don't understand it. They haven't done it themselves. That's what they think is the reason why this video went well. But it actually has nothing to do with that. Because if I tell Beatrice to make a relatable piece of content, she doesn't have my story. How is she going to objectively curate a format that works well for her? She won't know. Instead, I am going to now list why this video actually performed well from a format standpoint, and I want you to watch it once again. So heart connection, all of that, no, it's wrong. So I'll explain what the elements are here in real time. First, the visual hook. That visual matches or emphasizes what is written in text. It highlights the emotional pain. That photo is not from that year. And that photo was probably not me actually unhappy, right? It was probably me at dinner just a little bit hungry. The photo doesn't actually need to entail the specific situation. It just needs to highlight the emotion behind it. So even if you have no clips from you when you were younger, it's fine. You just go and film and take some photos of you looking less happy. It'll work fine for what I'm talking about. The text hook details where the pain is from. Parents divorced abruptly. It's anchored in time, 2013. I am not going to make a content piece on 2013 out of nowhere, right? I'm likely going to tell you how that reflects in the future or how that reflects in present day. That insinuates payoff. It increases retention time. It ensures that people are sticking around because they want to see the transformation. The text is readable. The cadence is tight. So it's not boring, but it's not jarring, meaning that I can actually read the text as it changes on screen. I'll show you an example. I'm going to mute this for now. Parents divorced abruptly, and my mom left for Korea without a goodbye. Struggled mentally and held a lot of resentment. Dad did his best, but we had our worst years financially. Does that make sense? As in the cadence is tight, but it's readable. So many of your contents are way too fast. So many of them because you're stuck on that fast editing style. If the editing style doesn't work, if it's jarring, right? People cannot read it, they won't stick around. So another part of this is you'll see a border on the text. They all have a black border to them and they're placed in areas where it's not too busy on the background, right? And that's because it needs to be readable. There's anticipatory music. It signals a transformation.
So overdue, I owe them. Swept away, I'm stolen. Let the sky fall when it crumbles.
Does that make sense? It's anticipatory, meaning that there's a transformation. You don't realize it. When you're watching that piece of content, you think it's relatable, you think it's emotional, you think it's inspirational. It has nothing to do with that, right? It has everything to do with the way that you formatted your piece of content. And that is why my students do this type of format and win all the time. Millions of views, hundreds of thousands of views, tens of thousands of views. And it's not that you have to have the same amount of clips. It's not the fact that you have to tell my story. You just have to match this framework each time. One more, the call to action, right? Encourages more follows at the end. So this video alone got hundreds of thousands of new followers. And that's because there's a call to action there at the end. It encourages it. The story arc is the pain, pursuit, and success. I start with pain, I start with a journey, and then I go into success, okay? So now I'm gonna play this for you once more, and what I want you to do is see in real time how this actually works. And see if you can notice it now.
This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. Feel the earth move and then hear my heart burst again. For this is the end. I've drowned and dreamt this moment. So overdue, I owe them. Swept away, I'm stolen. Let the sky fall when
Do you see it now? Do you see how all of these format features are actually what makes that video successful? Do we understand it now? Is everyone in this understanding what I've just done for you? Nobody ever teaches you this, right? This is how you effectively have repeated success. And I've shown that whether you're a small creator or a large creator, and this is just one format for it. It's the silent film storytelling format that all of you can immediately implement. All right, cool. If you're feeling more confident, I'm going to test you once more, okay? I'm going to play this and you tell me why that this video has performed well.
I follow you. Amazing. Wow.
That video always hits home for me, and I'm going to do my very best to not get emotional, but do you understand it? So let me see. Readable text, story arc, text up, visual hug. Guess what? All of you are right. Okay. It's the exact same format, literally the exact same format. And you've picked up on this, right? Now, when you watch content, you will no longer ever see it the same way. Has that been eye-opening for you? Do you understand what I've just done for you? In real time, I've told you what the actual secret behind content creation is. It's not just what is happening. It's not relatable. It's not the thing. It's actually curating the format, the way you package it. And it's objective. If you just check these off and you're like, I've gotten it, it's a good piece of content. Cool? You'll never see content ever the same again. Good. Good. Now I want to show you this and show you that it's not just the silent film storytelling format. It's not. It's actually every single format is packaged in a very similar way. But if you can nail it down and study it, you effectively can emulate their success. I'll prove it.
Second.
This is Maggie. She works in data science and she actually now has her own business. But I want to show you her before content before she started working with me.
Common pitfall of carrying out an EDA project or any portfolio project that matters not telling a story. When a hiring manager chooses to click on your portfolio website, each project really only gets a few seconds of attention, if at all. So make sure that you have a clear header for each section and that your storytelling is compelling and well organized. This means you want to have a short paragraph on your background stories, where you find your data, what question you're.
Whoa, well done. I'm seeing a lot of people looking at the format and saying what is not necessarily good for it. But can we all agree that Maggie knows what she's talking about? It's not like she's spreading information that's wrong. It's not that she's not an expert in the field. The truth is, a lot of you are really smart, but you suck at making content because you don't know formatting, right? That's the brutal, honest truth. But you can learn it. It can be studied. And so she came to me. I didn't tell her this. She came to me and said, these are the two creators that I'm most inspired by. I said, let's watch.
What does it take to start something? And by something, I mean literally anything. My first year university prof used to always say that the first step to doing anything is understanding the unknowns. But how do you understand the unknowns when you literally don't know what they are? Well, step one. List out all the things you don't know about what it is you're trying to pursue. And even when that's too hard, I just throw my ideas to Claude to get the ball rolling. So Claude is an AI collaborator tool, and I know AI tools can be scary, but I think they're only scary if you don't know how.
Who agrees that that's a better piece of content? That it's a talking head, but it's significantly more interesting. Great, let me show you a second example.
What if I told you I got $50,000 more in salary just by negotiating? Here's how he did it. This is lesson number 13. Tip number 1, let them give the first number, but be prepared to take the hit. You will get lowballed. Tip 2, be prepared with 3 numbers. Your anchor, the highest number you'll ask for, as my mentor once said, anchor high like a motherfucker. Then your due diligence number, which is based on.
Who agrees that both of those two content pieces from Mylene's mind and Chloe's Shear are significantly better than what she had? This is the content that she wanted to study. And there was one person in this call that just put in the chat that I'm so glad that you said this, but it calls out the wrong understanding of content. She said that this is going to take too much time. It's completely wrong. When you think that you know what you're talking about and you try and go and create content, that's when it takes too long. When you just study format, it's like a checklist. So me and her went together and did a piece of content. It didn't take her a long time to make this piece of content. Watch her new videos now.
Everybody thinks you need machine learning projects in your portfolio. Well, you don't. Here are 3 beginner-friendly portfolio projects that you can use to showcase your real-world data skills. Use this Airbnb open data to simulate A/B tests. Write SQL to compare 2 groups, analyze lift, and build a simple dashboard like this one. Use this 311 complaint.
It's not that this person has been a creator their entire life. She's a normal person. Maggie is just like I am. She learned the format. We looked at it together and she went checklist. All right, let me get it together. You know what's so incredibly profound about this? The person that she was studying in this piece of content, watch this piece of content.
What does it take to start something? And by something, I mean
Who knows here Claude AI? Who knows Claude AI here? Maggie works with Claude AI, is one of the biggest creators on there in regards to her ads. You will see it on her page. She works with them. She gets brand deals for them, and her ads are the ones running all the time. Maggie's is because she understood format. Does that make sense? This is the exact same message, guys. I do understand what I'm saying. It's the exact same topic that she's teaching, but the understanding of the format completely changes how it looks. I'm going to show you one more example.
I used to be the biggest quitter and thought that had to do with my depression. It actually was just my self-doubt. So often, mental health girlies marry their depression with their doubt when they're separate things. One of the best things I've done is separating the two. With myself, with a lot of my clients, their depression makes things really hard, isolating, and hopeless, but it's the doubt that makes them the quitter. Sometimes relentlessness is this very sexy quality of fierce self-assurance, just being someone who will not quit on themselves. In my more depressed girl stages, it looks
premise here, too long-winded, agreed, right? Also, there isn't anything visually engaging throughout the experience. She came to me with different creators, right? I didn't tell her to do this. She came to me with these creators.
So it turns out that if you stop complaining so much about things you can't control and you start taking control of things you can, and you stop comparing your life to other people and you start being insanely positive about everything.
She actually told me that this content piece got 20 million plus views. And she was asking me, why is it doing well? I don't understand. I said, think about the difference. Doesn't this make you feel something different? It makes you feel more comfortable. You make it feel a little bit more natural. The format of it is way different than you've executed. It's not that you have to agree with every single format that's done well, but it's up to you to learn it, to study it. She showed me this one as well. Now let's look.
What if you treated May like a 1-month experiment? What if you dropped all the weird rules that you've built in your head and just put on a month-long alter ego? The version of you that's confident, that's self-assured, stays cool, calm, collected. Because I promise you, hesitation and fear will waste another year faster than 1 month of failure ever could. This isn't about forcing results in a month. It's about building that.
Complete 180. Let's watch this one. Do we understand what's happening here? All she's done is went from beginner to studying formats, now understanding exactly how to carry good content and getting the results for it. This is gold. I don't think you understand exactly what's happening. Like the people that are asking me about, like, is it the editing? You probably came in a little bit late. What I'm trying to show you is that it doesn't mean that you have to spend more time. It's not about that. It's not about you sitting there being like, oh, what should I look like on camera? Or how do I feel? No, it's like having a checklist. It's when you study formats, you combine it with your own messaging, and that's how you get videos that perform well. You guys have just seen my vision, right? My creator vision. You will make that for yourself. This is 3 different pieces of content that I'm studying. You can even look at these links, watch the videos, and take my exact notes. These are actually my own videos that I'm studying from the past. But what I ultimately do is I create this 7x7 practice. It simply means 7 creators that I inspire to be like, and 7 top performing videos. meaning that I have 49 videos that I am studying at all times. I'm just trying to learn what formats are working for the best creators. I don't have to recycle their entire content. It's just the format that you're trying to understand. You're trying to see how it's packaged. What's their hooks like? What's the cadence like? What's the story arc like? What's the call to actions like? How are these creators doing, and learn from that? Does that make sense, what we're doing here, right? So what I'm doing, and you'll have the screen recording for this so you can take a look at this whenever you want. The actual details don't matter, right? I show you a silent film one, a split screen, and talking head, and I even give you my own notes. I'm making this as easy as possible for you. It's completely different formats, and it's my own that I'm showing to you right now. Cool. So how does this come together? It comes together, and you can literally take a screenshot of this right now before my team kicks me off on this. And this is how I actually plan my content. And I think every single one of you, if you want to know how top creators are planning their content effectively, this is how. You have dates, right? And you have ideas from your creator vision, and you have formats that you've studied. So then ultimately, this is like an example of my own schedule that I just made recently, right? My own schedule where I'm pointing back to the creator vision. I'm saying, okay, this is from my pain. This is from my content pillar. This is from my mindset pillar. This is from my mindset pillar. This is from my uniqueness skill. This is my content pillar. This is my uniqueness pillar and pain. Again, does that make sense of how the creator vision is coming together here, where it actually allows you to pull ideas from? Everyone in the chat, let me know right now before I know I'm getting rushed to move forward, but I just want to show you this because I genuinely want you to win. And this is how I do it myself, and it works. Then the formats, I'm just taking from the things that I've studied, right? Silent film, storytelling, B-roll, talking head, split screen, talking head. And I've actually showed you the videos that come out of these, okay? So again, you're gonna have this recording, you'll have this resource, so don't worry about it, but I just wanted to give this to you as an additional bonus. Does that make sense? Because now you'll know exactly what content to curate, and you can actually batch it really quickly. It'll be like you'll have 3 videos done in 3 hours, 2 hours, just because you know exactly what you're executing upon. I wanna read through each line here, and I wanna ask if this sounds like you. And if a line fits what you're currently feeling right now, tell me in the chat, okay? Is this really free? Yes, you literally get the recording and the resource, 0 to 50,000 follower toolkit. It's because I genuinely believe you deserve to win. And you can hear it in my voice. Can you hear in my voice how impassioned I am for this? You can hear it. It's because I wished that somebody would have done this for me when I first started. It would have fast-tracked my process years. I took 4 years of trialing and erroring and not knowing anything about content creation. If I can give you the blueprint and you win and you become a bigger creator than me, I'm proud, I'm happy. I feel like I've done my job, okay? So as each of these I read through, I want you to tell me if you felt that way before, or you feel that way even right now. You were still stuck on what to post. You have too many ideas. You're not reaching non-followers, so you're not growing as a creator. You found some reels and YouTube videos with advice, but it's all contradictory. Not to call anyone out, but that's what happens when you don't actually have the experience yourself. And you say things like, just make relatable content, right? It's the people that haven't done the work themselves to understand this, to study it. It's those people that are making it extremely difficult for you to win. You keep putting in effort, but you still wonder, is this even worth it? Right? I'm doing all of this hard work, but is this even going to have a payoff for it? But what you really want to do is you want your content to actually mean something to someone. You want to build the right community of real followers. You want to work with some cool brands. You want to sell your own products. And I know that I'm in the way of this. I'm going to try to go like this. You want to be loud, proud, and bold about building something that aligns with you. I hope every single person says yes to that bottom one. You want to be loud, proud, and bold about building something that aligns with you. You no longer want to hide. You no longer want to have a fear of being seen. You want to be confident. You want to make a lot of money. You want to help a lot of people, and you want to do that boldly. You want to champion your own brand just as much as an audience will champion you. The bridge between this and this, your problems right now, what you really want to do is why I do what I do. And I'm connecting this back to my original story of why I'm in front of you hosting these 3 days and why I've built Creator College. Creator College is a VIP coaching program. It allows you to get this same type of advice and education directly from me for 4 weeks straight. If you had this type of information for 4 weeks straight, let me know in the chat. Is this your confidence level? Would it be high or would it be low if you had someone like me to tell you exactly what to do for 4 weeks straight? 101, right? We are very much excited and proud of the work that we've developed at the VIP program. And in fact, I'm gonna be fully honest. When I launched the first one, I had no idea how well it would do. And I didn't think I would do a second one, but it sold out very fast in about a week's time. Then we did it a second time and it sold out even quicker. Then we did a third time, sold out even quicker, a fourth time, and it sold out even quicker. And then we decided, let's build out a bigger team behind us. Let's do the largest VIP coaching program ever with the new complete design. And we sold out even faster. I've done this 5 times. I've helped over 650 creators myself personally. And we are now super excited because just for those individuals that are here today, are we announcing that enrollment is open. So what the VIP coaching actually is, it's just like this, but no longer will you have your cameras and mics off. You can talk to me in these calls. It's just you and I will become friends. There's a total of 41 calls, about 60 to 90 minutes long each. So there's many hours of calls. Not only do you get the live calls, I understand that everyone is busy, so you will actually receive free lifetime access to every single one of the recordings, not just what we're doing in the calls. So the 41 that we're doing within the 4 weeks, there's actually over 300 masterclasses and 100 resources already there that I've made, that I took a lot of time making, and with my incredible team. You get for free completely for being in the VIP program. Also, you will receive a community to get support from our coaches and creators. Not only that, and this is what I'm super excited about, and I'm actually going to show you this here in a little bit. We made our own AI, meaning for you guys, if you've come into this class and listened to 70% of it, you would be in the top 0.01% of creators. Of course, the other 30% are nuances, but guess what you get to do? You get to ask it questions. You get to just say, hey, based on what June has just said, can you give me examples of how you would implement this format? You know those individuals that are asking about, hey, what is formatting? Like, what does that look like? You can just ask it and it'll give you the exact advice based on what we taught and trained it for. You will also be able to work alongside other creators who are on the same path as you, so you don't have to do this alone. Again, if you were doing all of these, how easy would it be for you to win? For 4 weeks, if you had this directly with me and my incredible team, give me a rating. Would it be high or low in terms of your confidence rate that you would be successful? This is the type of support that you get. Dr. Jess Yao is an orthodontist from Australia who had been trying for 2.5 years with other quote unquote social media experts. And after the last VIP experience, she finally found the passion and power to share her story. As a pure beginner from 220 followers, in just 4 weeks, she grew to 2,221 followers, and she's increasing every single day. I will not be surprised if she hits 10,000 followers in the next month and a half, 2 months, right? This is type of feedback that you get. This is Alan. He's writing a question to one of the coaches. Look at what Veronica says, our coach. This is an entire message just for Alan. Do you see this? How could you not win with this type of feedback? And even Alan says that. The level of clarity in your feedback is really amazing. This helps so much. Great. This is Kylie, a student of ours. Ask Shatika a question. One of our coaches, Shatika answers. I answer, right? We're giving different types of feedback based on what it is that she needs help with. Personalized feedback. Look at Nina, another one of our coaches, sends a 9.5-minute voice message. Do you see this? 9.5. No one else is doing that. I can guarantee it. 9.5-minute voice messages. How easy would it be for you to win? Then Sean, who's actually going to be teaching very soon here. He'll be teaching you all about monetization. He's made $300 million with the top creators in the industry. He himself will send you looms based on your websites, based on your products. He will tell you exactly how he feels about them and give you feedback. And we don't just help people that are already successful. We help. We're not discriminatory at all. We say we want to help everyone. We truly believe that this personal branding, June's ethos, can actually be applied by anyone, literally anyone. Martin, a pure beginner, started with 5 followers, and he was on private when I first met him, on private at 5 followers. During this period of time, in 4 weeks, in just 4 weeks, he just ended with me. In 4 weeks, he grew to 1,423 followers. Look at these views, 180,000 views, 161,000 views, 107,000 views. How easy would it be for you to win if you had that type of help? And I guarantee he's going to grow 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 as a pure beginner. Nina is different. Nina had experience. She was a working professional, a mom, and she had started at 1,600 followers. We took her in, we helped her understand exactly how to share her story. And guess what? She has now eclipsed 15,000 followers. Even if you have some traction, you're going to learn how to optimize upon it and build even further more. Does that make sense? How easy would it be for you to win if you knew that you were in the hands of people that could actually tell you exactly what to do next? Jenna is an example of a creator that started off big. She started at 173,000 followers, and now she's at 308,000 followers, selling a lot with her curriculum in which she's helping parents. I'm going to be very clear here. Every single one of you should listen to this. She is not only a parent, she's a full-time teacher, and she's still making content every single day. When I tell you that you have an opportunity to know exactly what to do so that you can save your time and do it efficiently, this is what I'm referring to. Now she has 308,000 followers and she's winning all the time. A lot of our students meet each other in person. They become real life friends. They actually want to be around each other, having people around you. And a quick question for everyone here. How many creators do you actually have locally to you? Like actually, who in your friend group are actual creators, right? None, zero, 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 one, right? I don't know any. That's the reality. Imagine being in an environment, not only do you have coaches, but you have other creators that are exactly in the same spot as you in which you can learn from and realize that your struggles are not unique to you. So this is what it looks like. So Veronica started at 11,000 followers. She had some traction, but she wanted to rebuild her content strategy altogether. She joined me on calls in week 1. I helped her with her creator vision, the thing that I just helped you guys with. She received direct feedback for her content. And in week 2, she started to grow at 11,000 views, 19,000 views, 13,000 views. And after following my exact advice on this piece of content, she had 53.8 thousand views. Then she grew to 12,000 followers. Then I told her exactly what to do next. Now she grew to 28.6 thousand followers. And today she sits around 95,000 followers. And what's beautiful about this is that not only did she learn while she was with me, but she has lifetime access to everything, guys. So meaning that she will have lifetime value, that she can always learn more. That is what I'm passionate to do. How easy would it be for you to win if you knew exactly what to do next? I really hope that you enjoyed that hour-long recording from my record-breaking free event in which we had tens of thousands of viewers as I was streaming for over 15 plus hours back to back to back to back days. And that's because I truly believe that you deserve to win. And hopefully I've helped you lay the foundations to beginning your personal branding journey. If you'd like to work with myself and my team here at Creative College, you can see the link in the description box below, and I'll see you all at the top.